Edmonton, Alberta, one ticket left to the Final Four at the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship. It will go to either Slovakia or the Americans, who have been on a roll since an opening night loss. Hello, Canada, and welcome to the last quarterfinal of the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship. James Duthie and Bob McKenzie with you. Canada is in, Russia is in, Finland is in, the U.S. or Slovakia will join them before the end of the night. And yes, the tournament did not start well for the Americans. A 5-3 loss Christmas night to the Russians. But since then, absolute perfection. 3-0, 22 goals for, 0 against. 3 straight shutouts, trying to punch their ticket tonight to the semis. To get you ready for it, Gordon Miller and Ray Ferraro.
We've heard a lot about the scoring exploits of Trevor Zegras for Team USA, but to win a gold medal, they're going to need some depth in scoring, and they're getting that from Matthew Boldy.
Yeah, Boldy, the 10th pick of the 2019 draft for the Minnesota Wild, has shown some pretty good instincts in the offensive zone. I think what I like best about Boldy is that he scored different ways. He's not a one-dimensional player. He'll go to the net. He's used his size really well around the net to be protective of the puck, to get himself into position and to shield defenders that are trying to push on him. He's also shown a little bit of good hands around the front of the net. The Wild have some excellent prospects in this tournament. Matthew Boldy is one of them.
These two teams have split the last 2 meetings in the World Junior Championship, and the Slovaks won the last medal round meeting. That was the 2009 tournament in Ottawa.
And the man behind the bench for the U.S. will remember that night well, because he was there, Bob.
He was. Nate Lehman was the assistant coach on Ron Rolston's team, USA, in 2009. And so when everybody talks about the American juggernaut that has gone through this preliminary round since Christmas night, and they're playing a weaker Slovak team tonight, Nate Lehman wants to hear none of that. The Americans outshot the Slovaks that night in Ottawa, 47-19. January 2nd, 2009. And it was Yaroslav Yanis who came up with the heroic effort. He ended up being the tourney all-star goaltender based on that game and a few others in that tournament. So he doesn't want a repeat of that here tonight. So, and very humble and eyes wide open.
So if you're the coach, do you show them that to warn them, or do you don't want them to even think about that possibility right now?
He's probably just thinking
against Slovakia. One of the reasons the Americans are here, a terrific power play. It's perfect so far, but they've only given up 5 power plays in the tournament, and 2 guys have all the penalties. Ryan Johnson with 3, Arthur Kaliev with 2.
The 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship from Edmonton, Alberta is brought to you in part by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 80 years. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey teams. By TELUS, helping build stronger communities on and off the ice. When we give back together, we're all connected for good. And by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of Team Canada. The 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship from Edmonton, Alberta is brought to you in part by Chevrolet. Find new reasons to cheer. Find new roads.
It has been a spectacular Saturday of hockey, and now we reach the end of the quarterfinal round. The 4th game has the United States taking on Slovakia, the winner to advance to the semifinals on Monday. The officials are Guillaume Labonte from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, Mark Pierce from North Vancouver. They're the referees. The linesmen are Terrington Wyanzek from Regina and Guillaume Brunel from Saint-Lambert, Quebec. In goal for Slovakia is Simon Lakotsi, who had a great game against the Swiss in Slovakia's opening game victory of the tournament. Stopped all 28 shots he faced in a 1-0 win. And for the United States, the 19-year-old Spencer Knight, first-round pick of the Florida Panthers in 2019, with Team USA at the World Junior for the 3rd year. The always upbeat Robert Petrovitsky is the head coach of Slovakia, an energetic presence behind the bench, and Nate Lehman is the head coach and assistant in 07 and 09. He was on the staff, as Bob McKenzie mentioned, of that 09 team that lost to the Slovaks in the quarterfinals in Ottawa, one of the biggest upsets in the history of the World Junior Championship.
The U.S. comes into this game scoring the last 22 goals.
Hey! Hey! That's not where your stick goes. Come on. Okay, guys, let's have a good time here.
Well, off to a flying start.
After a little scolding, now let's go have a good time.
Oh, it's Mark Pierce with the harsh words.
Heads up here, heads up.
Turcotte up for Zegras. That's knocked away. Mudryk lays the puck ahead. The Roman fight, who scored the only goal for the Slovaks in that 1-0 win against the Swiss. Latkoczy was tremendous in that game for Slovakia. But since then, 3 consecutive losses. 3-1 to Canada. They played well in that game. Then lost 4-3 in overtime to Germany. And then 6-0 to Sweden. The Slovaks have played well for much of this preliminary round. Now let's see how they do in the quarters.
The pace of the American game may be a problem for them. That's where I think the U.S. looks to exploit Slovakia's defense.
The United States were 6th last year. They lost their quarterfinal matchup 1-0 to Finland. The Slovaks were 7th. They lost their quarterfinal 6-1 to Canada. It's the Slovaks' 26th straight year in the top group at the World Junior Championship. They won bronze medals in 1999 in Winnipeg and 2015 in Toronto. The memorable performance by Denis Godla, the MVP of that tournament, the goaltender for Slovakia, who's now playing in the Czech League for Litvinov. That celebration of the bronze medal, one of the greatest we've seen at the tournament. Taransky drops that back. Picked up by Marco Staha. And Kenyasko plays it across. Staha. Lead pass was knocked down. Brett Berard forced it ahead. A chance there for Farinacci. Poked that wide. Back at the point. Ryan Johnson drops it back to Berard. Brett Berard, long wrist shot, pinballs around in front, trying to find a handle as Bobby Brink. Latkoczy down, and the puck bounced away from him. Run lost the puck. Kashlik has it, but he got stymied there by Brink. Kenyasko leaves that back. Soika plays it up the ice. That pass missed. Volinic, and the faceoff will come back down to the Slovak zone.
A little bit of miscommunication for the Slovaks, and that leads to this icing call, but they're fortunate this game is still 0-0 as there's this wild scramble that Latkoczy can't grab the rebound. This line for the U.S. has been a blue-collar group for them. They get the puck to the front of the net. Brink scored a couple of times from in the goal crease in this tournament, and they've been an effective group.
Cam York, the American captain, back to Zegras. In a long shot, and Latkoczy makes the stop, and this time there's no rebound. Robert Petrovitsky, the head coach of the Slovak national junior team, and fans looking on back home. We were fortunate to be there for the 2019 Men's World Championship, a country passionate about the game. Vladislav Nagy played his last game for the Slovak national team in that tournament. Got a thunderous ovation. And for Team USA, the United States has won 3 gold medals in the last 10 years. 2010, 2013, 2017, there are 9 first-round picks on this American team. 3 were taken in the top 10. Off the draw, busting in is Elias. Off the side of the goal, Elias digging for it. A 6'4", 225-pounder. He's not the only one on the Slovak team. 5 of the players in the Slovak roster are 6'4" or taller. They're going big there.
It's a good starting point.
That centering pass knocked away as Colangelo came in. Now back at the point, a long shot, pad save by Latkoczy. On that drive from Drew Hellison. Volinic sends it down, and Hellison back to pick it up. The United States beat the Swedes 4-0 in the last preliminary round game. Hellison opened his scoring with a shot from below the goal line in the corner.
And if you're with us earlier and we were talking about the Colorado Avalanche and all their young defense prospects, well, there's another one, Drew Hellison, a second rounder from 2019.
Here's Matthew Boldy. Winds in. Beniers with it now. Matt Beniers, the youngest player in this American roster, draft eligible in 2021. And a sweet move there. A Roman fight. Fight in, shoots, and Knight makes the stop on him.
Tough start to the tournament for Spencer Knight. He gave up 4 goals on 12 shots against the Russians in a 5-3 loss. He got pulled after 32 minutes. Didn't play the next game against Austria, an 11-0 shutout. But since then, he's come back into the net with back-to-back goose eggs. 7-0 against the Czechs, 4-0 against the Swedes. There is Dustin Wolf, who played the second game of the tournament. He came in relief in the first game, and Wolf's faced 21 shots in the tournament, hasn't given up a goal.
Nimitz with a shot that was blocked in front and picked up by Berard. Yasko, the fourth along the boards, but moves it out. Chromiak moves that in. Delayed offside against Slovakia because the Americans are trying to bring it out. Here's Ryan Johnson with it. Drops it back to Frun. Only Frun's pass up for Berard, who fires that down to the Slovak zone. Simon Nimitz, eligible for the 2022 NHL draft. He's a 16-year-old playing in the Slovak Extra League, their top league, for Nitra. Slager. Comes jumping in for Team USA. Landon Slager crisscrossing there with York. Now the lead pass goes to Soika. Dominic Soika banks that in. And now York off the glass and out. Actually not out. That's knocked down by Kazli. And his shot is stopped by Knight, and he hangs on. Good chance for Matej Kashlik, who plays for Chicoutimi in the Quebec Major Junior League.
Farinacci from the U.S., John Farinacci, takes a glove to the face of the giant Yuri Slafkovsky. The 16-year-old, who's 6'4", 218 pounds, ends up getting Farinacci in the face, who's gone down to the locker room for some attention.
Jake Sanderson slides that across to Hellison. And Drew Hellison works in, fires that around. But Coatsy back to pick it up. Sanderson shoots, and Lakotsi makes the stop and is able to hang on. A right-handed catching goaltender, which is unusual to see.
Robert Petrovitsky, as the coach of the Slovak team, has to decide what their team's capable of. We talked earlier about the pace of the U.S. is going to be a problem for Slovakia. You saw how deep they were in the neutral zone. They're not going to go hunt the puck. Unless there's a turnover, it looks like they're going to be really cautious.
Well, Caulfield in. And as he shot the puck, he went wide. There's a penalty coming to Team USA. Caulfield, on his 20th birthday, wristed that wide, but as he did, Boldy's going to go
USA
off.
12, minor penalty, interference.
So the Slovaks get the first power play of the game.
Just 2 for 13 on the power play, as Nate Lehman not too pumped and kind of looking for an explanation on the penalty, except he's basically got the lasso around him and down he goes.
Just the 6th minor penalty taken by the United States.
Incredible job of discipline for the U.S. in this tournament.
Slovaks are 2 for 13 on the power play. Chromiak and Mrazek have their power play goals. That clearing attempt went off the glass and out.
Chromiak's the right-hander, the Los Angeles Kings draft pick. He'll be over in that left circle, and if he gets the opportunity, he'll be shooting the puck.
Chromiak scored against Canada.
Almost their 1A option on the power play for the shot.
Mrazek for the face-off, but that's won cleanly by Beniers, the youngster Beniers, who was entrusted with penalty-killing duties. And Martin Romiak, as you mentioned, LA draft pick, joined Kingston in January of last year and had 33 points in 28 games.
Playing this year in the Slovak Elite League, has got 5 points in his 8 games he had played prior to coming here.
You mentioned he's an LA draft. They have 9 prospects here for the 2nd straight year.
Apparently Mikey Anderson, the U.S. captain from a couple of years ago, has made a real strong impression on Todd McClellan in the LA Kings camp, and said if the season was starting today, Anderson would be on their lineup. Second year of pro hockey.
Brink pulled that free, but it goes right to the stick of Romiak. Drops that back for Yellers. And the Slovaks fired in, try to get set up. Fight. In the corner for Yellers. Nimitz in for Romiak, and that's by him and back out. Yellers fires it back in. Brink waiting for it and swings that down to the Slovak zone where Simon Nimitz is back to pick it up. McLuhan moves that ahead. Actually, couldn't get a shot away, and once again it's cleared out. And Beniers can close fast as Andre Golian goes back. Golian swings away from him. And Soiga was knocked down there by Slaggert as the Slovaks swing back. 30 seconds going to power play that hasn't generated much yet.
Not enough pace to it. When they move the puck, they hand it to a standing still player.
Slavkovsky comes jumping in after, a player you've liked so far this tournament.
Man, 16 years old. The kid is a giant, 6'4", 218 pounds. He's got really good hands. Not eligible for the draft. Another one until 2022.
Pasnik lost the handle. It's set down. No shots for the Slovaks on that power play. We've talked many times, Ray, about the fact that a power play can really lift your team or it can really deflate your team.
Well, when you don't even make any passes or any zone time, it feels like you're just getting defeated on that 2 minutes again, and that might be your chance to take the lead.
In comes Zegras, comes winding in, drops it back, Boldy with a quick shot. And Lefkotsky makes the save on that.
A couple of good saves for Lefkotsky early on.
The lead pass bounced away from Polonic rather. And back is Sanderson for it. The Ottawa first rounder from the last draft, 5th overall pick. 2 selections after Ottawa took Tim Stützle. If you missed it earlier today, Stützle in Germany gave the Russians all they could handle in their quarterfinal. Now a turnover, and fanning on that was Beniers. A 2-1 Russia win in that one. Lead pass for Razak. Trying to poke that free. Now it's scooped up and brought ahead by Berard. Brett Berard winds into the offensive zone. The puck rolled off his stick, and now Berard back on it. Fight stepped into him. Caulfield whips it around. Cole Caulfield, a Montreal Canadiens first-round pick in 2019, comes back on Razak, and now Caulfield's got it back when the Slovaks change it. Cole Caulfield winds his way through the offensive zone. Shoots, kicked out by Lefkotsky. And now a penalty coming to the Slovaks as Beniers was taken down. And the United States have got the first power play on their side with 10:25 to go. Here in the first.
Here is the penalty as Mudryk takes down Matt Beniers. So the U.S. power play that had 6 power play goals will get their first crack after they just smothered the Slovak power play on their first attempt.
U.S. is 6 for 15 on the power play. Boldy leads the way with 2 goals and a man advantage. And they'll set it up with Cam York at the top. Zegras had that pass deflected away by Oliver Turan. Gather it back up. Zegras at the side of the goal. Boldy a chance. And the rebound skips back across the blue line and back down to the American zone. Here's York back with it. Plays for the Michigan Wolverines in the NCAA. Up for Boldy. York gets it back. Cam Yorka, Philadelphia first rounder in 2019, had that bounce away, swept down the ice by the Slovaks. .9:45 to go in a scoreless first period. York to Caulfield to Zegras. Boldy back to York. And that pass is picked off. A shorthanded chance there, but Maros Jedlička couldn't get away. And Zegras back with it. Zegras across to Caulfield. Caulfield to Kaliev. Back to York. Across to Zegras. Down he goes to Boldy. Feeds it back across. Kaliev scores! On a sweet pass from Boldy, a power play goal. And Team USA takes a 1-0 lead.
Arthur Kaliev can shoot the puck. And he takes his pass from Matt Boldy and beats Lecotzi, who actually gets a glove on it. Watch Boldy's head. When the puck comes to him, he's looking back up at Zegras, and then he goes back across the seam to Kaliev. Looking back up the ice, but he knows Kaliev is there, and he's already seen him out of his peripheral vision. And that looks a lot like the save Lecotzi made against the Swiss. This time, he doesn't get quite there, and the U.S. has the lead. That's 23 straight goals for the U.S. in this tournament.
A monster goal-scoring year for Kaliev last year with Hamilton in the Ontario League. 44 goals in 57 games. He had a good tournament last year for Team USA with 4 goals in 5 games.
That'll be another point for Trevor Zegras as well.
Now Sanderson bobbled it. And Mrazek's got the puck back for the Slovaks. In with fight. And Yelush, who's moved in. Brought back by Brink. Brink in shoots. And Lecotzi makes the glove save and hangs on. 8:42 to go here in the opening period. And Arthur Kaliev from Staten Island, New York, has the U.S. up 1-0.
We showed Matt Boldy's vision on the goal. Look at Arthur Kaliev, 28. He wants the puck out here. Now he's going to the net, but he's going to stop. If he goes down any further, that angle from Boldy to Kaliev's not there. But he slows his feet down, stays in the passing lane. And I remember working with Brett Hull on television, and he said the receiver of the pass is almost as important creating the passing lane as the guy passing it. So when Adam Oates was zipping that puck over to Brett Hull, part of the deal is Hull had to stay and delay to get open for Oates to feather those beautiful dishes across. Kaliev did the same thing there for Matt Boldy.
You know well that Hull also complained about almost everyone except Oates, whoever passed him the puck.
Yeah, because Oates gave it to him flat every time. What an amazing passer he was.
Caulfield in for Helleson walking in. Feeds it back in front, and that's kicked away by Lecotzi. Caulfield moves it across the line with Beniers. And Beniers swings back. Now Boldy walks out of the corner, shoots him a sharp angle. And Lecotzi got a shoulder on that. Skips by Johnson, he falls, a race for it now. Romiak coming in. Front walks in, Romiak missed that short side. Beniers gains center ice, moves it across the line, drops it back for Boldy, but the play's offside at the Slovak line.
Closed captioning of the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship is brought to you in part by Bet99.net. Canada's newest destination for free sports information, odds, and casino. Every game starts at Bet99.
9 p.m. local time here in Edmonton. The last of 4 quarterfinals played here in this building today, because all the games we've been playing in one arena this year. A quadruple header today.
You know, we've said it before in this tournament, but you and I have come and done the last 2 games here. Yeah. Most of our people have been here all day, putting all 4 games on, and have just done an amazing job. Dennis and Craig are in bed. I mean, they get their feet up now.
Now we got a hitting to the head penalty being called here against the United States. I think it's Landon Slaggert going off. And this would be 2 and 10.
USA number 26, 2 and 10 for check to the head.
So Slager's going to be gone till midway through the second period now.
Slaggert goes through the body but doesn't get enough of it. This is a 10 the 2 and the 10 every time in international hockey. There you have to take a different angle to deliver the hit. And so the U.S. that had just 4 penalties coming into 4 minors to kill coming into the game are shorthanded for the second time in this period. And they have dominated this. 11-2 in shots, a 1-0 lead. And now you give Slovakia a chance here on the power play.
Jalusz leaves that back for Niemiec.
Another one of those 2022 draft eligibles is Niemiec.
Romiak with the lead pass too far. And it gets by Niemiec and back down the ice. Well, look out. Lakotsi got tied up there by Brink.
He had to kick it to the corner in desperation.
Niemiec slides it back across to Jalusz. The Slovaks can't get set up here, right?
Gord, they don't make any passes coming into the zone. It goes into the zone, shot around the boards, everything's a scrum. If you don't win the scrum, you get a skating drill and you go back down the ice. You see Bobby Brink chase this puck down behind the goal, and Lakotsi's not sure where to go. Nice little kick there as he kicks it away from Brink, or else he was in trouble. When you come into the zone on the power play, the puck carrier has to have options. If he doesn't have options, even though you might think you're open, you're not. You got to move the puck before you can try to get set up, and Slovakia has not done that at all.
Now they get set up. Fed back at the point to Golian. Slavkovsky feeds it across. Pass in front, tip just wide. Good chance there for McLuhan. Slavkovsky. Down to Soika. Slavkovsky feeds it back to Golian. Here's Slavkovsky with it. Throws that back. Golian feeds that back to Kachlik. Slavkovsky back across to Kachlik. Slovaks set up here. Kachlik banks it back to Golian. Golian along wrist shot deflected, and Spencer Knight makes the stop.
I'm watching Slavkovsky, the 16-year-old, and he wants to be on the ice. When they just changed the lines, he gave a little body language like, I want to stay out here. This unit, far more effective than the others, than the other unit, this top unit. They move the puck quickly. It goes back to Golian. A difficult deflection that Knight makes the save on.
Now Niemiec shoots, and that's blocked by Boldy. Romiak with it. Drops that down to fight. Back to Romiak. Niemiec sends it across, and a hard shot there by Jalusz is kicked out by Knight. Another chance. Oh, and Fight can't believe he missed. What a stop there by Knight.
2 excellent saves by Spencer Knight. 2 of his most difficult ones, and he's able to smother the second before there's any trouble around the U.S. net. The Slovaks much better this second power play than the first. Jalusz with the first shot, and then Fight with a rebound from about 15 or 20 feet. Knight finds it through the traffic and makes the stop. Talked about how since he's returned to the net after being pulled against Russia, he's been letter perfect, and makes another couple of stops there on the Slovak power play.
You're right, Elias lost that draw to Turcotte. Zegras sweeps it back down the Slovak zone, and Turcotte gets in behind Kanyashko. Shots are 11-4 in favor of the United States in a 1-0 lead. Kolinic throws that rink wide for Jendek. Couldn't get a shot on it. Now Jendek on the side of the goal. Knight's down. Jendek poking at it. And he's moved out of the way by Thrun as he jams away at the pad of Spencer Knight.
Another close call here is Slovakia the last minute or so before the power play, through the power play, and now get a couple of chances. Good work here on the forecheck by Jendek. And then he tries to jam it short side, but Knight sharp enough to get up against the post and seal it off.
Berard. Up ahead for Brink. Berard chips it back down. And Soika back to pick it up. Soika snaps that pass ahead. Now drop back for Kasley, couldn't reach it. And it's brought out by Brink. Bobby Brink, Flyers second rounder in 2019, moves that ahead. And Berard had his pocket picked by Kasley there. Kasley leaves it back. And Petrovitsky, the coach's son, moves it up. In comes Ryan Petrovitsky, whose dad made him a healthy scratch on Christmas Day. They won the game, though.
He picked him on the team.
There's that.
You know, so all in all, he's played 4 straight since.
Bouncing puck for Beniers, but the play is called.
For 4 years, teams have done amazing things to raise the Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup. But this year, ideas triumph. What would you do with $100,000 for your community?
Robert Petrovitsky played 100+ games in these leagues: the NHL, the American League, the International League, the Swiss League, the Czech League, and the Slovak Extra League. He played for 23 teams in 6 leagues in 25 years.
I can't imagine there was a time after, you know, a couple of years or a couple of moves that anytime the coach said to Robert, hey, can I have a word? He must have thought, not again.
No, this can't be it. Then he packed his suitcase and the coach said, no, I just wanted to talk to you for a bit. Pellison. Long shot rattles off the glass. Goldie plays it down. Beniers with a chance. Side of the goal, shoots. And Latkovsky makes the stop. Back at the point is Sanderson. Sanderson in for Caulfield. Cole Caulfield drops it down to Sanderson. Goldie calling for it. That's picked off. Latkovsky's made 11 saves here in the period. Beaten on the power play goal by Kalyev. Beniers winds in. Beniers moves that down to Bold. He plays it off the back of the net. Kalyev races to it. Off the bench comes Ryan Johnson, but the pass pulls him out of the zone. Kalyev chips it down for Zegras. Fight took the puck away from him and moves it back down to the American line. Johnson back for Thrun. Johnson up to Kalyev. His drop pass picked off by Fight. Razik for Yelush. That floats wide of the goal. Back at the point is Niemitz. Down for Yelush. And Ryan Johnson stepped in front of him. Johnson's a Buffalo first-round pick. Centering pass to Ryan Johnson. Plays out across and Kalyev couldn't reach it. That's the draft pick for Buffalo that completes the Ryan O'Reilly trade. With St. Louis. It was 31st overall because the Blues won the Cup. Zegras was knocked off the puck.
He might be hurt here.
Yes, the thing got hit up high and makes his way slowly back to the American bench.
He staggered after he got the hit. He was in a rather awkward position. Got his head down at the U.S. bench.
Farinacci drops that back. Kalyev makes his way off as the puck bounced in behind him, and Colangelo goes back forward for Team USA. York.
1 minute left in the first period.
Has that taken away? Rock Faber with a poke check there. Moved the puck off the stick of Jendek. Brendan Brisson plays it around. Kolinic steps up. Kolinic drops that back for Anachi, couldn't clear it away. Eliash to Kolinic. York just erased him. Cashley loose in the corner with it, drops that back to Eliash. Eliash, hulking Slovak winger, moves in. A backhand shot goes off the skate of Brisson. Good pressure now by the Slovaks in the late stages of the first period. Kolinic picks that ahead for York. He pivots away from Eliash. And York plays it ahead as time winds down here in the period. Farinacci plays it down. And the United States will leave with a 1-0 lead, but the concern here would be for the health of Trevor Zegras, who left in some distress moments ago.
He's going to get to the blue line and go to make a one-on-one move. And as he makes the move, he runs into Oliver Turan, who's 6'5". Gets him kind of on the side, and it looks a little bit like a, upper body shoulder sort of thing. And Zegras, uncomfortable as he went to the bench, stayed there for the remainder of the period.
Arthur Kaliev power play goal has staked the Americans to a 1-0 lead on Slovakia. It's the fourth quarterfinal day of the day at the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship.
Greg Westlake supports the Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund because he knows when we help kids get on the ice, there's no limit to the power of play. Give an assist. Donate now.
Sophomore Slump, the new album from the Reclaws, available now. And Roots, the World Junior song, available everywhere you listen to music.
Man, rough start for the Raptors. They lost for the second time this season to the Pelicans today. Now 1-4, where they will try to get things back on track once again on Tangerine Raptors Basketball Friday as they tip off against the Kings. Coverage 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on TSN. Great special teams are usually a really good recipe to win this tournament, and so far the Americans have a perfect PK through the tournament and a power play that's getting close to 50%, 7 for 16. How did this particular one work, Bob?
Well, it's the same as always. The personnel is just so exceptional because you've got in Caulfield and Kaliev, you've got two unbelievable trigger men. And then you've got a big body like Boldy that makes plays, hunts down pucks. And just first off, the Slovak makes a diving play. That's never advisable to do. Takes the legs out from Benier, so off to the penalty they go. You got York on the point. He processes things really well, and Boldy does a great job below the goal line. You've got so many options. I mean, Zegras is a dual threat. Playmaker, shooter. Caulfield is a shooter. Kaliev's a shooter. Boldy, a great playmaker, and as I said, a guy who physically imposes his will and works hard on a power play to keep it going. Obviously, the big concern for the U.S. there is the fact that, quite aside from the power play goal, is the fact that Zegras took that hit, went to the room and didn't come back. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. But boy, oh boy, would that be a loss if he's not around.
Kind of a theme today that the underdogs hanging around. Germany did this morning against the Russians in the first quarterfinal. The Czechs hung in there with Canada, and through one period anyway, Slovakia only down by 1. But there's the hit one more time on Trevor Zegras, who's been just dynamite in this tournament. Stayed on the bench, did not come back into the game. We'll try to get you an update as we're through one period here on quarterfinal Saturday at the World Juniors.
Ever dream of winning big? Really big. As Team Canada goes for the win, you can too with the World Juniors Online 50-50. Daily chances to win while giving back to minor hockey in Alberta. Buy your tickets at hockeycanada.ca.
Time now for the World Juniors High Performance fueled by Gatorade.
There's a shorthanded chance for Morav and scores! Ponomaryov gets the break. Lundell on it again, plays for Hirvonen. Hirvonen center, Beckman, oh what a chance! Scramble in front of the net, on the front net, score! 23.3 seconds left, and Finland has taken the lead.
Look at the joy on the Finnish bench.
Kubicek's shot was blocked. McMichael lifts it high in the air for Cousins. In comes Dylan Cousins. Cousins in alone. Stopped by taken a 1-0 lead. And Dylan Cousins has done it again.
And our tournament scoring leaders are brought to you by Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Trevor Zegras with that second assist on the power play goal takes the lead over Dylan Cousins, 14-13. And the three guys behind them all playing for a team that is out in Germany. So it definitely looks like a two-man race the rest of the way for the scoring title. Cousins leads by 1 goal. Scott Salmon, Canada's senior VP of national teams, told us it was his dream to get beamed up like the players and the coaches have. And so that's what we do on the show, Scott. We make dreams come true. There he is right there. How does it feel?
Amazing. Appreciate it.
I know what a challenge it was just to get this tournament to happen. You go through the 14-day quarantine in Red Deer, all the games that had to be canceled. So how satisfying is it, not only that the bubble has gone well, but Canada is now in the semifinal?
Well, I think it's really satisfying. I mean, once you get over the hurdle of knowing that the tournament's going to happen, and you look at the plan that we set for ourselves, and the extended camp in Red Deer, and getting through that process with a couple of road bumps along the ways, like you said, with the quarantine, getting into Edmonton, and I think our team's played well at times, and at times we could play better, but we're right where we want to be. We circled today on our calendar, and when you're getting prepared for a tournament like this, really it's the quarterfinal that matters, and so we've got over that hurdle, and now we're looking forward to the next 2 games. Was today one of those days they could have played better, and what would you like to see better going forward to the semis? I think it's such a tough game to play. I mean, for us, we've got everything to lose. It's hard to game to think that there's a benefit for us. We lose, it's kind of an embarrassment, and so that's tough for kids to play, and so I think we overcame that. I think the other team's playing with a little bit of house money. They played hard, but for us, it's a little bit different as Canadians. We feel like we've got some responsibility to deliver. I think we've been able to do that. We know we're going to play 7 games. We just want to make sure we're playing in the right 7. The legend of Levi continues to grow from a Junior A MVP to now a star at the World Juniors. Has he even surprised you, what he's done so far in this tournament? He's surprised me from day one, just in his approach, the way he's been so consistent. People forget, our last inter-squad game, he got a shutout. He got a shutout against the Russians in exhibition. He's been rock solid from day one. I heard Andre talk earlier in an interview after the game. He's so consistent. He's so dialed in. He's been there for us every step of the way. And I think you can play better when you know you've got someone behind you that if you do make a mistake, he's going to be there. And so, we're confident in him. We have been from day one. I think Canadians are just starting to see, like we are, what he's capable of. Best of luck the rest of the way, Scott. Thanks for having me, James. Scott Salmon, Senior VP of Canada's national teams, beamed back down to wherever the heck he is. We're through 1 period of play here. And this is what happens. If the U.S. holds on and wins, it will be Canada versus Russia in one semifinal, the U.S. versus Finland in the other. If Slovakia can come back and somehow pull off the upset, Canada would play Slovakia, Russia versus Finland. And either way, it happens Monday, both semifinal games. Again, the Canadian game is first, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time for the pregame show. Americans up by 1. The second right after this.
First period scoring summary. Matthew Boldy and Trevor Zegras draw the assists on the goal by Arthur Kaliev on the power play. The United States outshoots Slovakia by a score of 12-5. Talking to coaches and others before this tournament, the watchword for the U.S. was speed.
Well, they've really transformed their game over the past 15 or 20 years, and through their development program have really pushed skill and speed and pace to their games, and the results have been quite remarkable. We watch them in that first period, and there's just nowhere for Slovakia to go most of the time because they can't get to the puck first. Whether it's a direct pass from Boldy to Zegras that leads to Boldy's shot, or straight down the wing, lots of speed for Cole Caulfield entering the zone. The U.S. backs Slovakia up, and they don't even let Slovakia get into an aggressive posture. It looks like the U.S. is going to get a fortunate break as Trevor Zegras is back on the ice. He was injured at the tail end of that first period. An assist already in the first, and it's points in every game for Zegras.
Fifteen of these players, including Zegras, are products of the U.S. National Team Development Program you've talked about that's headquartered in suburban Detroit, now Plymouth, Michigan. Used to be Ann Arbor. Started nearly 25 years ago as a place to hothouse top American prospects. You see a load of viewers in the United States tuning in tonight.
Looking for a little more offense from the United States, a 12-5 shot advantage. Slovakia came close towards the end of the period on the power play a couple of times. These games aren't comfortable. You're the heavy favorite and can't crack it open early.
We saw it earlier with Russia against Germany.
Well, then they never leave. You're expected to blow them out early. It doesn't happen, and then the underdog starts to be emboldened a little bit. And that game was never comfortable for Russia today.
Even the Canada-Czech game was perhaps a little close for comfort. His favor drops it back to Zegras. Slavkovsky had that pass bounce off the stick of Hromiak. And Turcotte with it. Drops it back to Zegras. Zegras got the Turcotte loose at the side of the goal. That's knocked away. And the pass there from McLuhan missed. McLuhan was in the penalty box in overtime when Germany scored the OT winner to beat the Slovaks 4-3. And just to underline it, what a tournament for Germany. After all the adversity before and during the tournament. A wraparound try, and Beniers turned away by Latkoczy.
It's a good read by Latkoczy, who's shown really good side-to-side quickness in this tournament. A beautiful shutout in the first game. 28 stops against the Swiss, and there he beat Beniers to the far post.
Oh, lead pass finds Caulfield in alone. Caulfield! Oh, what a stop there by Latkoczy. A terrific save, point blank on Caulfield.
What a pass from Jake Sanderson. That thing was a rocket.
Here they come again. Boldy with Caulfield. Boldy in. That goes wide of the goal. Caulfield back on it. Puck bounces back in front. Out of the line. Thrun plays it back into Boldy. Now Beniers for Caulfield. Johnson back across the Thrun. Ryan Johnson. Johnson. Great movement behind the goal. Drops it back to Caulfield. For Johnson. It's away from Vignasco. Beniers pivots back. Finally scooped up there by Taransky. Can't clear it out. Sojka. Up for Kashley. The Slovaks need a change. And Thrun goes back. Johnson drops it back to Thrun. Back in for Johnson, who fires that down. But Latkoczy made the terrific stop a moment ago. Plays it back around Kashley. Up for Elias. Elias pulls it free. Uri Elias. Back for Petrovitsky with a long shot. That bounced just wide. Nimitz from behind the goal line. Back to Petrovitsky. Winds up and shoots, and Knight makes a save through traffic. Gerard couldn't clear it out. Vignasco had it on his feet. And Brink had his pass picked off. Kolinic bobbled the puck. Brought back in by Berard to Brink. In, shoots, that goes wide. Berard back on it, he was taken down. Nimitz. Simon Nimitz up to the American line. Played away by York for Farinacci. Banks that down to the Slovak zone. Back is Nimitz to pick it up. Down by Kolinic. Colangelo works it with Turcotte. Shoots! Saved by Latkoczy, and he hangs on to that.
Latkoczy's been sharp here in the second period in particular. Watch his pass from Jake Sanderson. Sends in Cole Caulfield. 20th birthday. Caulfield breakaway. Turned aside by Latkoczy twice. The first one with the blocker. Oh, the second one, I think Caulfield actually double hits it as the puck goes wide of the net. Blocker saved. Latkoczy can't find it. And Caulfield not able to finish the rebound.
Cole Caulfield, native of Stevens Point, Wisconsin, plays for the Wisconsin Badgers in the NCAA. Played 10 games this year for Wisconsin, scored 6 goals. Plays offside at the Slovak line. But Lakotsi has been equal to the task tonight. The only goal that's beaten him was the power play marker by Kaliev. He had no chance on that. And this is the save he made against Switzerland.
Late in the game, a 1-0 lead. All out as far as you can go. And Lakotsi makes the glove save. He, one of those Slovak players that eligible to come back next year.
Great feed there. Kaliev fired it wide. Helleson works it and shoots. That deflects wide as well. Actually out of the back of the net. One play called. You made the point about that save, Ray, that if he's a left-handed catcher like most goalies are, he doesn't make the save.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to reach far enough with his blocker here. As this scrum continues just long enough for a couple of players to get matching minors here. Roman Fait and Matt Beniers will go to the box. Here's that shot. It hits goalie on in the pants, and it's right on top of the net before Kaliev can flip
USA
it
number
off.
10, Slovak number 9, both minor roughing.
Sits gently on top of the net.
It always struck me as interesting. You can chop the puck off the back of the net. Like if the puck's stuck in the back of the net, you can chop it out, but not if it's on top.
Well, you can imagine
Coach Wedge is swinging sticks with the goalie's head there.
What a fencing match that would be.
So as you mentioned, matching minors to Fait and Beniers. And a little 4-on-4 here in the second period. Back at the point, here's Johnson, in, shoots. That's blocked. Slafkovsky tries to tap that back. Turcotte drops it back to Johnson. Johnson to Boldy to Turcotte. There's Boldy with it. Got the wash going here. That shot floats wide. Looks like a rotation drill. Slafkovsky moves in. Moves around Johnson. Slafkovsky flips it towards the goal, gets it right back. Out of the net he goes, and Staha couldn't make a connection. Now Turan drops it back to Staha. He falls. Boldy's gotten a chance down to the breakaway. Lead pass for Turcotte. Turcotte in alone. Backhand shot. The save made by Lakotsi, rather.
Stop Turcotte. Stop Caulfield on breakaways here in the early part of this second period. Former teammates with the Badgers in Wisconsin. Neither of them finding a way past Lakotsi.
Romiak moves in, drops it back. Pinyasko walks in and poke check there, and a good defensive play by Faber. And the rebound knocked over the glass and out. And Simon Lakotsi is emerging as a story here for the Slovaks.
A stumble here at the blue line by Stacha, and that leads Boldy to just chip this up to Turcotte, who wants to go to the backhand. A little bit different, always facing the right-handed goaltender. That's a different deke. Of course, when he's got his glove on the other hand, his stick blade faces the other way. There's more room between his feet. It's an awkward play when you go to your backhand. It's not the same. You don't have the same angles to put it through the goalie's feet or around his feet with the blocker and catching glove on opposite hands.
You didn't like practicing as right-hand catchers, right?
I couldn't stand it. You just didn't face them enough. And so it felt like you were shooting and practicing for something you were never going to face. My personal preference would not be to deke to the backhand against a goaltender holding his stick in his left hand. There's just no room to get the puck through his feet.
Pinyasko up ahead for Niemetz. He gets lots of ice time for the Slovaks as a 16-year-old. Kasley drops it back. Niemetz, a shot, and the save made by Knight. Simon Lakotsi rises big again. The stop on the breakaway of Turcotte. Tangerine Raptors basketball continues next Friday as the Raptors tip off against the Sacramento Kings. Coverage begins at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on TSN. 13:25 to go here in the second period in Edmonton. Nate Lehman and Team USA with a 1-0 lead over Slovakia, which won the last medal round meeting. It was the World Junior in Ottawa in '09. The United States lost a heartbreaker on New Year's Eve to Canada, 3-0. John Tavares key to comeback. Canada won that game on New Year's Eve, and 2 days later, the U.S. came out and lost that quarterfinal matchup to the Slovaks. Thought that New Year's Eve game might have been the best game we'd seen at the World Junior in a long time, and then 5 days later, we got the Canada-Russia semifinal game. Funny, huh?
Man, but the New Year's Eve game was so wild. I mean, well, they both were really, but they were.
Wow, I mean, all the stuff that happened at that game.
You know, the flyby by the bench. And
James Van Riemsdyk clothesline, Christy Domenico for Canada. The enduring gift of that is the linesmen now make sure at all levels that they keep you away from the opposition bench. Tavares was brilliant.
There's also another way of stopping that. Just don't go by the bench. I mean, the game survived for 100 years before it.
Taransky with it. Lifts the puck high in the air, turns Sanderson. As Jendek bears in on him. Jendek almost stole that. Helleson plays it away. Fight moves in. Tries to work that free. Mrazek digs forward along the boards. And it goes for Yelich. That's taken away by Sanderson. Good pressure by the Slovaks. They turn Sanderson. Now Mrazek steps into him. And Helleson comes out the other side. Mrazek stepped hard into him. Played down the ice. Staho was back. And icing called against the U.S.
Closed captioning of the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship is brought to you in part by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Back here in Edmonton on this Saturday night. Tomorrow a day off at the World Junior Championship. Normally that's when the relegation round will be taking place. As Romiak moves in, that deflects off a skate and wide. No relegation this year. Swiss and Austria have gone home. Sweden and Germany will be on a charter tomorrow. And the Czechs will be going home as well, perhaps going home with the Slovaks. But they're still only down 1-0. And that looks like the weather, not the news.
Oh, I think there's a message there. That did not look like, hey, we got this thing going well. The game has been, you know, they had the 2 breakaways here, and they've had plenty of opportunities to stretch it, but Gord, this game's been dragged down a little bit to the pace that Slovakia wants. See if they can keep that.
Caulfield moves in and shoots off the skate of Niemetz. And you've talked about this so many times that the longer the Slovaks can take this, shorten the game.
Every shift, they build a little more belief. Hey, we can do this. We can stay in the game.
Caulfield moves in. They got nothing done on their first period power plays.
Well, we got a penalty coming here.
And it's going to be a hooking call against the Slovaks. It's going to be McLuhan goes off. We mentioned he was in the penalty box for a German overtime goal.
Slovakia, number 10, minor penalty, hooking.
The U.S. has the only goal of the game on the power play in that first period. Nope, there's the call on McLuhan there as he trips up Beniers.
Robert Petrovitsky played in the World Junior in '92 for the Czechoslovaks. 2 Olympic Games, 4 World Championships. Was a member of their '02 gold medal team at the World Championship. In comes Zegras on the power play, shoots, and the save made by Latkozzi.
Zegras injured, or banged up, I guess, a little bit towards the end of the first period.
It was a clean hit.
Just an awkward position, and he took a pretty good thump from Oliver Turan, who goes 6'5", and
face off one unfairly, and Zegras is now number 3 all-time in points for the U.S. at the World Junior Championship. 2 behind Jeremy Roenick, 4 behind Jordan Schrader, who played in 3 for the U.S. Caulfield down to Kaliev. Caulfield stumbles, gets back up, feeds for Zegras, back to York. York to Zegras, walks in to the goal mouth. He goes, Boldy with a chance, kicked away by Latotsi. A nifty defensive play there by Kolonich to tip that pass away in midair and knock it back down to the American zone. York, that pass missed, icing waved off as Golian goes back. Andre Golian got spun around. York holds the line. Cam York down to Zegras. Zegras to Caulfield. That pass misfired. Boldy back for Zegras. That backdoor pass was chipped away by Cashley. Boldy moves in. The pass deflected on the pad of Latotsi, and he's got it.
That went off the skate, I believe, of Golian. And Latotsi flattened out the pad to make the stop. See, this puck hits Golian's skate and deflected back into the crease. Here's the earlier one. Boldy, strong move across the front of the net. Earlier in the tournament, when he was closer to the post, he put it through his own feet and beat the goaltender. But here he wanted to take one stride around the right pad of Latotsi, who makes another stop.
Back at the point is Sanderson. Colangelo. Now the pass comes across, and Brisson couldn't connect with the one-timer. Slapped back down the ice by Dominic Yendek. Sanderson leads the rush, drops that back, and Brink with it. 30 seconds to go in the USA power play. Brink drops it off. Turcotte in, shoots. He rattled it high off the glass. Colangelo on it now. The centering pass goes off the skate, and Staha can't clear it out. Sanderson to Brisson to the goal mouth. Turcotte drops it back. Brink couldn't get a shot away. Again, the Slovaks can't clear. Brisson's pass was deflected. Yendek got a stick on that. Now Colangelo ripped that wide. Brisson back on it. Final seconds now of the power play. 3 shots for Team USA as McLuha steps back on and the puck comes out. Still a 1-0 game. 9 to go here in the second period. Turan lines it across the lines. The Slovaks change. His shot deflected wide by Hellison. Now Yelich with a chance. Backhands that through the crease. And Slaggert moves it out. Niemitz knocked that down. And Niemitz plays it back across the American line. Here's Thrun with it. Up ahead for Berard. Latotsi. Rattles that high off the glass. Mrazek. Out to center ice for Yelich. That was knocked away neatly by Johnson. In comes Berard. A long shot. That goes wide. Back in the point is Johnson. Johnson shoots, scores! Tipped in front. Looked like Farinacci got a stick on it, and the United States has taken a 2-0 lead.
All these great chances, and as always, it's one like this. It's a deflection, a 50-foot wrister that's tipped that Latotsi can't catch up to. Ryan Johnson's simple wrist shot. Oh man, this hits about 3 guys on the way. It hits Farinacci in the leg here, and then it hits somebody else right about there. I don't know.
It's Slaggert in the back.
Well, it's either Slaggert or Canasco. But the first shot, the puck hits there, and then it goes back the other way, and Latotsi can't catch it. So the U.S., a simple play, started the off the Ryan Johnson wrister, and it's 2-0.
They've given the goal to Farinacci. They might have to get forensics on that to figure out who had the last touch.
you're in the vicinity, just say it hit you.
Well, you know what? He was the first to celebrate.
Yeah, but somebody else could have touched it behind him, right? That's what I'm saying. If you're in that mess in the middle, that touch me? Yeah, I think so.
Brought in by McLuha. Feeds it back to fight. Romiak hits the goalpost.
Wow, what a release by Romiak.
And Caulfield back the other way. Caulfield in the corner. Boldy picks it up. Beniers. Caulfield. Faber. Long shot. That was deflected wide. Golian. Up ahead to Miluha. And Miluha looks ahead for Slavkovsky. Petrovitsky walks in and shoots. Hit a leg in front. Rebound put high by Soika. Long shoot in there from Oliver Turan, a 6'5", 212-pounder. Just one of several on the Slovak team. A backhand shot there by Turansky was blocked. And now laid down the ice by Boldy. Petrovitsky trying to get an icing call to that. No luck. And pivots in behind the goal. 6.5 to go here in the second period. Centering pass was knocked away. Scooped up by Turan. Russia, Finland, Canada have all punched their tickets to the semifinal. Await the winner of this game. If the United States wins, it's USA, Finland, Canada, Russia on Monday. Now a drop back for Hellison. That's picked off by Turan. Turan's got Soika with him. In comes Turan. Shoots. And off the shoulder, I think, of Knight. And a long shoot and rebound loose in front. And Kolonich couldn't cash. Brought back by Kaliev. Arthur Kaliev. Lays it back in. Turcotte.
Team USA goals.
Drops it back. Niemiec with it.
Assisted by number 22, Ryan Johnson, and by number 21, Brett Berard.
In for Jendek. Jendek works in, can't get a shot away. Staha waited for the puck to come, and it was picked off, and now Slaggert comes back the other way. Slaggert flips that down. Niemiec is it back across to Marco Staha. Colangelo had that knocked away. Thrun plays it back for Johnson. And the bouncing puck in behind the goal. Colangelo steps into him. Thrun. Long wrist shot deflects wide. Niemiec back with it. And Niemiec puts it around to Staha. Waiting for the Western Hockey League season to start is Staha. Signed with the Vancouver Giants in the offseason. As Jendek plays it down. In comes Berard, shoots, and the save is made by Latkozzi. USA's up 2-0. Who got it? We think it's Slaggert. Ray Ferraro mentioned that the United States, since giving up an empty net goal to Russia, has not allowed a goal since game one. The shutout sequence of 215 minutes and 55 seconds is now the longest in the history of the World Junior Championship. Shared by Spencer Knight and Dustin Wolf. Wolf had a shutout against Austria in the second game for the U.S. And then Knight put up back-to-back blankings of the Czech Republic and Sweden.
And aside from not giving up any goals, they've scored 24 straight in that stretch.
By the way, should Knight get another shutout in this tournament, he would equal the tournament record set by Canada's Justin Pogge at the 2006 tournament in Vancouver. Farinacci in, shoots, and Latkozzi makes the save. That defensive performance by Canada in 06 was one for the books. The pairing of Mark Stahl and Ryan Parent was not on for an even strength goal against the entire tournament. And some rough housing. Fight will go off.
Slovakia, number 9, minor penalty, roughing.
He gets the only one.
Well, that's one way to curb the the scrums is the officials will pick one guy out of the mess, and then everybody's worried it's going to be them next time.
It works though, Ray. And they do it more in the IHF system than they do in the NHL. You start picking one guy out.
Nobody wants to be
that guy.
Nobody wants to be the guy. Well, the U.S. can really take a stranglehold here. A 2-0 lead, back on the power play.
York to Zegras. Turan knocked that wide. Fired down the ice by Staha. The Slovaks used to have a full-time national junior team program that played against Slovak extra league teams. They would get pummeled on a regular basis. Now it's an under-18 team full-time. They play against other Slovak junior clubs. There's another penalty coming against the Slovaks as York plays it across to Caulfield. To Zegras. Zegras shoots, kicked out by Lecotze.
Yeah. Zegras is a little winded here. He's nowhere near the puck. And Turan, the 6'5" defender.
It's a late hit called against Turan.
Late hit, early hit, uncalled for hit. I mean, the puck's nowhere near him, and he runs right into him. So the U.S. with a lengthy 81-second 5-on-3.
That late hit rule was instituted a couple of years ago by the IHF as another player protection measure. And the players seem to adapt very quickly.
And they get a sense right away what is and is not allowed.
Caulfield back to York. On the 5-on-3 is Zegras. York. Caulfield. Zegras. Drops it off to Caulfield. Back for Zegras to Caulfield. In shoot, scores! Happy birthday, Cole Caulfield! A power play goal. It's 3-0.
Tell you why this goal is so important for the United States. It's not that it gives them a 3-0 lead. It's the hope that Cole Caulfield gets on track. Watch how happy Trevor Zegras is that this puck goes into the net. Caulfield, a great shot. He's pumped, and you're going to watch Zegras come back across the top. They want to get him going. He's one of their top scorers, and he's really struggled to find the net. Missed the breakaway here. Whoa, what a shot. Off the bar and in. You think he likes to score? $3-0 U.S. and they're still on the power play.
For another minute and 34 seconds.
Zegras now a couple of points.
Climbing that American all-time point list at the World Junior. He gets by Brink and back down the ice. And with a win tonight, we'll have a guaranteed 2 more games to play. Turcotte slides it across, and that shot by Colangelo is gloved by Lecotze.
So they start with York up in the middle of the ice. He goes over to the left. Zegras moves to the middle, and he drops it to Caulfield, but they're going to play catch. And this is a bullet up over the blocker of Lecotze. Just touches the top of his shoulder. And they want Caulfield going. And Zegras on the assist end of Caulfield's shot. Now you've got a missed breakaway. You've got a goal here. Watch him hunt the next one. This is what a goal scorer does.
And here he comes with Kaliev. Back for Zegras. Caulfield in the high slot. Zegras looking for a lane. Takes the return pass from Goldie, pulls it back in. Lecotze pokes it away. Caulfield with a chance.
Oh, what a save.
And Lecotze makes a great stop. And you're right. Caulfield's feeling it. Yelich moves in. He's poke checked there by York. Lots of goal scorers have said it. When you're scoring, Your pillows are softer, your food tastes better.
Everything is better. This is, it's what you do, it's what you identify yourself as a player as.
Cashley dropped that back. Now picked up, Cashley, a chance, scores! Mate Cashley takes advantage of the turnover, and with 1:28 to go in the second period, the Slovaks are back within 2.
A bit of a broken play, and Kashlik is going to end up with the puck on his stick. And he beats Spencer Knight for the first time in forever. The play is broken here. It's not even really a pass. It gets knocked off the stick of Nemitz, who joins the rush, and that shot beats Spencer Knight, and it's 3-1.
So that ends the shutout streak at 218 minutes and 53 seconds. The first goal allowed by Team USA since their opening game loss to the Russians. And maybe gives the Slovaks a bounce going into the third period. Another centering pass, just missed. McLuhan plays it back around. Rink plays that rink line. Benier's after it. Nemitz watching him. And the play is called. They're calling it icing. 1:04 to go here. 3-1. United States leads. Latkotsky makes a great stop at one end. And Cashley scores at the other. Time now for Gear Up with Skip the Dishes. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of laundry to be done. On the right is Dwayne Mandrusiak, the longtime equipment man for the Edmonton football team. These guys start working at about 5 a.m. and are here until after midnight. 10 teams practicing, playing in games, you name it. And these guys make sure it all works. Skip the Dishes, the official food delivery app of Hockey Canada. There's a lot of machinery behind the scenes that goes on at these tournaments. The IHF runs 36 events in a year in men's and women's hockey at all various levels and in some very far-flung places that hockey might not be native to. Soika picks it up, tries to kick that ahead. Brisson tied him up. Ignacio plays that down, picked up by Faber, being watched up by the goal scorer, Cashley. As time winds down here in the second period. York steps out. Gains center ice and fires that down. On this Colangelo. Taransky, seconds left in the period. Taransky in across the line, won't get a shot away. And the United States goes to the dressing room with a 3-1 lead after 2 periods of play. Cole Caulfield strikes on his 20th birthday. Cashley gets one for the Slovaks. That's a 2-goal lead again for the United States. Coming up, it's our second intermission from the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship.
Character, integrity, respect. If we bring good sportsmanship on and off the ice, we can help end bullying.
NFL regular season wraps up tomorrow as teams play to secure final playoff spots, including the Dolphins trying to get in, the Browns trying to get in. If Washington loses, the Cowboys or the Giants could win that ridiculous division. Jets and Patriots as well. Don't miss any of Sunday's biggest plays with NFL Red Zone available for free on tsn.ca and the TSN app. James Duthie and Bob McKenzie back with your second intermission. We've spent a lot of time over the last 12 days or so talking about Trevor Zegras for good reason and the top of the U.S. lineup. But if they go on to win gold, is it fair to say it will likely be because their depth?
Their third line has been outstanding in this tournament. Brett Berard, number 21, New York Ranger 5th round pick that plays for Nate Lehman at Providence College. Watch the effort, the energy, the intensity, the board battles he wins. This is why the goal gets scored, because he does such a great job, gets it back to Ryan Johnson. Johnson shoots. Farinacci's credited with it, whether it hit Landon Slaggert or not. Now, normally Bobby Brink would be out there, not Slaggert as part of that group. Slaggert's been a great fourth-line center for the Americans, but that unit, that third unit for the Americans, has been a really underrated group, and they create offense, but they a hard team, a hard line to play against.
We saw some of those lopsided games early in the tournament, and I think it almost conditioned us. So when Canada got up 2-0 on the Czechs today, we thought, okay, it'll be 7-0. Instead, the Czechs went on a flurry where they had about 9 straight shots. Same deal here, where the Americans go up 2-0. You think it's over, and here come the Slovaks.
Well, you're right. Right after the 2-0 goal, there was a 4-minute period where the Slovaks looked like they had a reason to believe, and they started to throw a lot more pucks and bodies at Spencer Knight. Now, they didn't score in that sequence, and unfortunately for them, because they couldn't get one and close the gap to 2-1, next thing you know, they're taking a penalty. The next thing you know, you're ending up with a power play goal and a 5-on-3, and that was all she wrote. At that point, 3-0. Now, of course, I should duly point out that Gord Miller was talking extensively about Spencer Knight's shutout streak. It didn't end as quickly as it did for Carey Price, that one NHL game that Ray and Gord were doing, but it did end nevertheless. And I know Gord, what he's going to say, it has no impact whatsoever, and he may well be right, but I just
no,
I
think
we should
clearly have enough evidence based on him that he actually causes these shutout streaks to end. I think we've confirmed
it.
Well,
I should tell you this. As soon as he said it, I said, shutout, I think you said it 30 times for good measure. Come on, Carey Price.
We heard Cole Caulfield's primal scream from here when he scored. He's with Jill Savage.
Colangelo got a goal on his birthday the other day. You get one here on your birthday. Take us through it.
Yeah, I mean, we got lucky on a 5-on-3 there. Had some good puck movement, and we were rolling around. And, Z gave me a nice pass, and it just happened to go in.
Slovakia making you work for everything out there on the ice offensively. What have you seen?
Yeah, I mean, they're a gritty team. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. You have to play a full 60 minutes, and we were kind of taking long shifts in the second, kind of got ahead of ourselves. But as long as we shut it down in the third and keep playing the right way and the simple way, we'll be fine.
What is that going to take?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take short shifts. I thought, we were getting a little long out there, and it was just trickling down each line. And when you see that, every line starts to do it. So I think we just got to keep them short and keep working.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Joe.
The 3 true underdogs today may well go 0-3, but not without a fight. Germany hung around, Slovakia hanging around, and the Czechs did against Canada. Bob on how Canada got to the semis next.
For more than 80 years, Esso has supported Canadian hockey with programs like the Esso Medals of Achievement, Esso Fun Days, and the Esso Cup through our long-standing partnership with Canada's national teams. Esso, proud premier partner of Hockey Canada.
Hey, bring home a piece of the World Juniors. Bid on Team Canada game-worn jerseys and other memorabilia from previous championship teams, with proceeds benefiting the Hockey Canada Foundation. I know you saw it, but we're going to recap it anyway because that's what we do. It's called the Sports Network. Canada, Czech Republic for a spot in the semis. First period, Connor McMichael lead pass for Dylan Cousins. Nick Malik gets some of it. Looks like he has it, he doesn't. Cousins has his tournament-leading 7th. It's 1-0. Then seconds after a power play expires, Bowen Byram, player of the game and first goal of the tournament. It's 2-0. Looked like Malik should have had that one too. Not sure why they didn't start the other guy, but hey, I'm a host. After that, Canada was back on their heels a little bit. But Devin Levi was just outstanding. Couple nice saves late in the frame. Keeps it a 2-0 game for Canada. Levi, fine jeans, better goalie. We skip to the third period of play. Still same score. Less than 6 to go in regulations. Czechs pull Malik for the extra attacker. 5.5 minutes left. Jan Misak shot deflects wide. Levi quick to react, as he's been the entire tournament. The Czechs would get no closer. McMichael adds an empty netter. Canada wins 3-0. Off to the semifinal.
I think it's good for us to face a little bit of adversity. They came out hard, and they pressured us lots. Levi kept us in there good. He played a great game. He's been great for us all tournament. So we know we got more in the tank, though.
You get the feeling that it's going to be Cousins and Zegras bidding for tournament MVP right down to the gold medal game.
Most certainly could be. There's no doubt about it for Canada who's been their best player, and it's been Dylan Cousins. He gets started early, so many games, sets the tone for Team Canada, and he does it again in this one. Gets a stick out, bats down a shot, blocks it. Great alley-oop from Connor McMichael, who reads it, and then again, speed, power, drive the net, and it sneaks through Malik. And on the second goal, big center drive. Look at all the white sweaters collapse to him. And then Cousins sets up in front of the net, creates traffic for Malik, who can't see it, and Byram scores the goal. So he's clearly been the catalyst for Team Canada.
And I don't know how the Czechs leave him alone when he's got that orange and black poker chip around him the entire time. He sticks out. The goaltending for Canada is always the #1 issue going into this tournament. We haven't even, there's been no controversy, no discussion, because Levi has been that good. Hasn't had a bad game. Is this his best game?
Yes, no doubt about it. It needed to be. I mean, in the first period, there were 9 straight shots for the Czechs in the back half of the period after it was 2-0. He was terrific. And then the second period, he was good. In the third period, he really needed to be good. Just watch these saves, but the most phenomenal thing for me is Team Hockey Canada invited 5 goaltenders to their virtual summer camp, and he wasn't one of them. Okay? So how does a guy who wasn't invited to the summer camp, they never played any games, none of these kids, because the pandemic's on. There's no goalies playing anywhere. So Hockey Canada decided, we got extra time, let's go back through the game tape, videotape of all the guys that are eligible, and they said, you know what? Maybe we need to invite this guy to our November camp. And they did, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah.
He's the #1 guy.
From Junior A in Carleton Place. Shout out to Carleton Place. I always stop at the Dairy Queen on the way to my cottage when I lived in Ottawa.
United States strikes for 2 in the second period. Farinacci with his third, Caulfield his second. Matej Kajlik gets the Slovaks back within 2 near the end of that second period. Gord Miller back here with Ray Ferraro. If you're a goal scorer, there are 2 ways of life. You are scoring or you are miserable.
There is nothing in between, because no matter what else you're doing, you identify as a goal scorer. You can do a lot of little things right. Oh, that's great. And you'll take some of that from the coaches or from the other players and say, okay, that's helping, but you need to score. Caulfield's had a bucket load of chances tonight. That missed breakaway early in the second period, followed by this power play rocket up over Lakotzi's blocker. Then he's going to get one on the next shift. A chance that Lakotzi makes a great glove save. When you get one, you feel the next one's just around the corner. And I can guarantee you that Cole Caulfield feels good about the way the puck went in and the fact that the puck did go in.
If the United States wins tonight, it's a semifinal date with Finland. Team start the third period, 5-on-5. Turcotte flips that down, looking for Cal. He had to open the scoring in this game on the power play. Centering pass for Zegras, working in. Zegras with a chance. Lakotzi save. Oh, and another stop on the rebound as he stopped Turcotte. Second into the period, and Simon Lakotzi makes 2 great saves.
Lakotzi's been terrific tonight. Really has had an excellent game.
Petrovitsky plays it across for Niemitz. In shoots, he ripped that high. Zegras knocks that back. Faber spins away from Yelush. York up ahead for Boldy. Boldy shoots that wide. And that looked like too many men. York wasn't off the ice yet when Helleson touched the puck. Sanderson winds ahead. Jake Sanderson moves in. Just glides on his skates. Like his dad, who was also a great skater. Mikluha. Knocked away by Helleson. And Staha speeds back for the Slovaks, being shadowed there by Beniers. And Beniers all over him. At the point is Helleson, long shot, and Lakotzi gloves that. An active third period so far for Simon Lakotzi.
Well, you're not going to get to ease your way into the period here. Turcotte finds Zegras, little nifty little dangle to the front of the net, and then Turcotte doesn't get caught watching on the end boards. Zegras loves this play. He takes the puck, he puts it on the other side of the defenseman, like the left side of the D. He goes around the right side, and you can't stop him because you do, it's interference. And then he dodges around and delivers the puck really quickly. It's a pretty sleek move.
Farinacci turned away on the wraparound try. Mudrak to the line, not out, and that long shot by Farinacci, glove by Latkoczy. Slovaks, you mentioned 26 years in the top group. There have been some close escapes from relegation. 6 times in those 26 years they've finished 1 spot above relegation.
8th last year in Ostrava, and one of their issues was they just didn't score at all. 9 goals in the 5 games they played, and it's really been the same thing this year. They 1 goal against the Swiss, which they won. They lose to Canada 3-1. They lose 4-3 in overtime to Germany, and then get shut out by the Finns. Now they got 1 goal again. It's pretty clear where the issues lie for Slovakia. Is that they've got to find a way to create a little more offense. That has to be the goal of that junior program that you're talking about, Gord. Develop skill, build skill.
So here's the difference. The United States has 9 first-round picks on the roster. In the last 15 years, 1 Slovak has been picked in the first round of the NHL draft. That was Marko Dano by Columbus.
And you're going to have to build a pipeline from somewhere. And I think that's why the national junior program to the under-18 program is a better idea. It's the fan cam from fans watching in the United States. Their team up 3-1.
If this score holds, we're going to have quite a Monday. Canada, Russia in the semifinals, USA, Finland. 2 rematches from last year. Canada beat the Russians in that epic gold medal game last year. The Finns beat the Americans 1-0 in the quarters last year.
And for about the 15th tournament in a row, we saw don't underestimate the Finns.
Right. Ellison shot goes wide.
Down 2-0. They score to make it 2-1. They get a goal disallowed. It looks like that's going to be deflating, yet they score 2 goals in the 3rd period. The last one with about 30 seconds left to win.
Sanderson's long shot is kicked away by Latkoczy. And 2 years ago in Vancouver, the Finns won the gold medal game on the late goal by Capo Kakko in the gold medal game.
Yeah, that will be a blue-collar effort, the U.S. and the Finns. And Nate Lehman is really instructing his team a lot here. He was not happy early in the game, but now it's a little bit different. It looks like each time somebody comes off, he's a pretty active guy behind the bench, making sure that the U.S. continues to not just nurse this lead, but to be aggressive and grow it.
Caulfield across to Johnson. The pass too far for Boldy. Gets by Mudrak and back down the ice. Olniak kicked that ahead. Slafkovsky pokes out ahead, takes the return pass, gains center ice. And now Slafkovsky comes across the line. Juraj Slafkovsky. Knight knocked that away. And now Turan with a shot that deflects wide. So the U.S. shutout streak ended, and the streak for Spencer Knight, the 2nd longest in World Junior history. Soika banks it off the end board. York. Up for Farinacci. Now it's still behind the goal. Brink throws it back in front. That's knocked away by Soika. Brink. Tap in the corner by Turan. Berard back with it. But squeezed off the puck by Staha. That lead pass, Biskashli. And Berard works in. Brett Berard, the puck at his feet, drops it back. And a chance now for the Slovaks busting out. Drop back for Elias. And the pass is offside at the American line. NFL regular season wraps up tomorrow with a Sunday night clash between Washington and the Eagles. Actually, by the way, it's 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN and CTV2. Canada's home for the NFL. If Washington wins, it makes the playoffs. If not, the winner of the Cowboys-Giants game.
Well, that's how the NFC East is usually decided. It's the Cowboys and the Giants.
They're not usually both 6 and 9.
Well, that's a detail that this year brings to that division.
I'm a Giants fan. I'd love to see them make it, but wow. Vinyasco. It's funny how that works in so many sports. When a division's so powerful for a while, then everyone gets bad at the same time.
Same time. Top to bottom, and everybody's trying to rebuild at the same time.
Nemitz goes back. There's the puck around for Vinyasco. Lead pass for Yelich. And Yelich gets squeezed there by Slaggert. Johnson back with him. Johnson moves in. Drops it back for Turcotte moving in, and Yelich knocked him off the puck. Mrazek for fight across to Yelich. Moved back in by Miklucha. And now Turcotte steals it back with Kaliev. In comes Kaliev, walks in and shoots, and Lecotzi makes the stop, and there's no rebound. 13:26 to go in the third period. It's quarterfinal Saturday of the 2021 World Junior. Time now for the Gatorade shift of the game.
Second period, 2-0. The U.S. on the power play, a 5-on-3. And Cole Caulfield rockets one over Lecotzi's shoulder to give the U.S. a 3-0 lead.
Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Cole Caulfield scored 14 goals at the 2019 IHF Under-18 tournament. That's tied the record set by Alexander Ovechkin.
Probably go about things a little differently.
You would think. Ovechkin in this tournament was just a beast. The greatest goal scorer in World Junior history is Pavel Bure, 27 goals in 21 games for the then Soviet Union. Turin shoots, and Knight was screened. That went just wide. Caulfield back with it. Now back at the point, another long shot, this time taken by Slafkovsky.
Here's the funny thing, Gord. It's 3-1. It doesn't feel in danger. The game doesn't feel like it's really close. One shot, and all of a sudden the whole complexion of this thing changes. Slovaks with a couple of decent chances that shift.
And although the Swedes and Finns are a closer matchup, the same thing in their game. Sweden was up 2-0. It didn't look like a lot was happening for the Finns. And then all of a sudden it was. That pass gets by Kashlik, who has the Slovak goal. Robert Petrovitsky.
I mean, the frustrating part for Petrovitsky is to try and create some offense. Which guys can you put together that might have it tonight? Like, you just don't score a lot. And it's tough to drag it out of a team if it's not there. One thing they'll just have to do at some point is, if they get out on the rush, is have people join in the rush. I mean, you're going to have to take a chance at some point. You've got 13 shots here in almost 50 minutes.
Ashley jumps ahead. Now Cashley taken down, and a penalty coming to Team USA. It'll be a tripping call against Drew Hellison with 12:05 to go, and the Slovaks will go on the power play here in the third period.
USA number 2 minor tripping.
We can't ask for a better opportunity here as Drew Hellison gets his stick all tied up into Kašlik's feet. The first Slovak power play was a mess. The second one was much better. They created some chances. They had some dangerous opportunities on Spencer Knight.
Yelich wins the faceoff back, so they get set up. Romiak with it. Back for Niemetz. Shoots through Charlie. That goes wide. Played back in by Yelich. Romiak waiting for it. And that's slapped down the ice by Farinacci. Simon Yelich. Playing in Sweden. It's his 5th year there. He jumps in across the line. Pokes that into the American zone. Been watched there by Johnson. Now played back for Niemetz. In for Fight. Fight pivots back behind the goal. Feeds it across. Yelich to Romiak. Yelich. Romiak. Rink wide for Niemetz. Drops that down to Fight. In behind the goal for Yelich. Back at the point is Niemetz. Romiak. Banks that back. Niemetz has time. Shoots. That was blocked in front. Yelich for the drive. That was blocked. Rebound. And Mrazek turned away point blank by Knight.
2 blocks. One by York, one by Johnson, and then the key stop by Spencer Knight.
Plays that around. Kašlik. Chipped that ahead for Fight. Couldn't reach it. And it's played out by Faber. And here's Slavkovsky back for it. Juraj Slavkovsky rather. Eligible for the 2022 draft. Here he comes. Tries his luck and shoots off the side of the goal. And a dash there for the big man, 6'4", 215 pounds. At the line. Long shot score! Tipped in front by Sojka, and don't look now, the Slovaks are within 1.
Their 3rd power play goal of the tournament. And it comes at the most important time. Slovakia is back in this with 10 minutes left. A game seemingly in control. Jake Sanderson has the puck, but fans on it, doesn't get it out. And just a simple shot to the net. Redirected by Sojka through the legs of Spencer Knight. Sanderson probably had a little bit more time to get off his backhand and take it to his forehand. He doesn't, and he doesn't get it past Kanashko at the blue line. Wow, 3-2.
Kanashko the shot, Sojka the tip. And the 6'6", 230-pound Sojka. What do they feed these kids in Slovakia?
I don't know.
And of course, the biggest of them all just signed with the Washington Capitals. Should have seen him in junior.
Yeah, when Chara showed up in the NHL, we were like, where did this guy come from?
I saw him play junior one night for Prince George in Calgary. And some kid from Calgary thought he'd try the skinny Euro.
How'd that work out?
He finished 3rd in that fight. Icing called against the United States. So now 9:21 to go, and you talked about it. Got to get back in it somehow, jump in. You get a power play goal. Latkotsky's done a great job in goal to keep them in it.
There's the tip through the legs of Knight by Sojka. There is 0 pressure on Slovakia, none. It's all sitting on the shoulders of the U.S., even though they have a 1-goal lead.
Turcotte with it. And Kaliev chips out ahead, knocked down by Mrazek. Mrazek, another guy who plays in Sweden for Linköping's junior club. Boldy works it and shoots, and Latkotsky makes the save. And there's no rebound. 8:51 to go in the 3rd, and the Slovaks are lurking. These guys have been working since 8 o'clock this morning. 4 games on one ice surface. Kevin Pratt, our ISO director. Chuck and audio. And Nate,
the Ghost.
The Ghost. Now, that camera made its debut at the 2018 Hlinka Gretzky Cup. And Gretzky was here. And he loved the shots of Gubby. He said the camera should be white too. And as we said, when 99 asked for something at Edmonton, he gets it. So the camera's white as well. And Nate's got us some terrific shots, but this is 4 games in one day. Lead pass for Romiak just missed.
Okay, not to overstate this, Gord, about how hard the guys work behind the scenes. The crew call, the time they had to get to the rink, 15 hours and 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
No. The 15 hours ago, I know where I was. Little siesta.
That shot by Kanashko deflects wide of the goal. The Slovak captain took the shot that was deflected in for the second goal. Romiak for Mikluka, and that's knocked away as Niemiec goes back for it. We mentioned these countries have split their last 2 meetings, and the Slovaks won the only medal round game in 2009. American coach Nate Lehman was an assistant coach on that team, and Ottawa, as the puck was into the Slovak bench. Now, we should make the point, we talk about, 4 games in one day on one ice surface. This might be one of the few buildings in the world that can handle it. It's brand new, a new ice plant, state-of-the-art. Dry, cold air in Edmonton helps. But can you imagine some of the buildings we've been to with 4 games in one day? Never mind, that's the NHL. By the way, that pinging sound you hear is Kotze. He bangs his goal stick on the goalpost all the time.
Making sure he's in the right spot. This is the way you defend the lead right here for the U.S. Try and keep it down there. If you don't have a play, cycle it back behind the net.
Berard. Up ahead for Hellison, and that long shot punched away. As Farinacci got away, Kotze puts that over the glass and out.
While it might be frustrating for us to think about trying to generate offense, Slovakia knows what they are. They know they have to be patient, wait for your chance, try and make a turnover, earn an extra power play, whatever it might be. And here they are in a place they'd love to be. Sure, they'd love to be tied right now, but they're in one shot distance, and they got 7.5 minutes left. They don't have to try and generate it now. They don't have to take risks yet.
And Ray, you made the point that in all 4 quarterfinals today, the higher seed has not been able to make the lower seed go away.
Well, I would say in 3 of the games there was a prohibitive favorite.
Sure.
The U.S., Canada, and Russia. And in each of those games, they were all tight, and just the favorite just couldn't find a way to have the underdog fold, which has never happened.
Pulled free by Golian. Andre Golian is a returnee from last year. Leaves it there for Fight. And Roman Fight spins away from Brizon. Here comes Fight in across the line for Slovakia. Turcotte got a stick on him. He plays it around. Yellish tries to seal the wall for the Slovaks. 6:45 to go in the 3rd period. Front. Lifts it high in the air. Niemiec has it skip away from him. And icing called against the United States. So the door creaks open a little wider for the Slovaks.
Offensive zone face-off.
Tired American players on the ice.
Yeah, try and win a draw. Get to the front of the net. Maybe you grab a rebound. So this will fall onto Turcotte on the draw here.
Mikluka will take the draw for the Slovaks. Slavkovsky teed up for the face-off win. And they get it. He shoots it. He missed just wide. Just the way they draw it up. Now a centering pass of Romiak, and Mikluka can't reach that. There's a good chance for the Slovaks right off the draw.
Well done on the draw, and they get it to Slavkovsky, who just missed up over top of the net. That doesn't miss by a whole lot. So now they'll do it again on the other side. The U.S. making sure they've got everybody covered as they're looking at Nemitz way over on the far side, making sure that somebody knows he's there, so they have him covered too.
What's the theory there, right? Why have Nemitz so far away?
Because they're looking for one-timer way across and try and lose a guy off the draw. However, that basically leaves you 4-on-5 on the draw because he's out of the play.
Slavkovsky plays it across. Mikluka. For Slavkovsky, his shot was blocked. Bouncing puck high in the air, picked up by Zegras. He's got Kaliev with him. Zegras to Kaliev, and the play is offside at the Slovak line. It's the 4th of 4 quarterfinal games played today. And this one isn't over yet. U.S. up 3-2. You'll never guess the celebrities behind the masks and the moves. Get into the dancing sensation, all-new Masked Dancer, Wednesday, January 6th, only on CTV. 5:56 to go here in the third period. U.S. with a 3-2 lead on Slovakia. Caulfield, a sharp angle shot by Kotze to save. Brought back the other way by Kashlik, who got a big goal for the Slovaks late in the second period after it was 3-0. Now Caulfield off the goal post. Picked up by Nunez. Goalie centers it. Caulfield missed. And Helleson sends it back in. Petrovitsky races to it, but Caulfield gets there first. That goal by Kashlik gave the Slovaks some life going to the dressing room, down 3-1. A tip here on a power play in the third. That's a 3-2 game. Kashlik to the line, but not out. Helleson's shot floats wide. Turin swings back. Oliver Turin. As both teams change, inside 5 to go in the third period. When do you pull the goalie, right?
Oh, 90 seconds.
Yelush.
The only time earlier, I think, is if you get a favorable face-off, or you can get the guys you want that they're rested. If it's maybe at 2.5 minutes, I might try it for a draw. As we look at Caulfield dancing again, sharp angle. He's still thinking goal here as he goes around Petrovitsky, who bites on the first move. Caulfield saw a little room up over Lakotzi's shoulder, but he hits the pipe.
Yelush. Mrazek and Fighter out there. Mrazek knocks it down. He has 2 goals in this tournament. Scored them both against Germany. That long shoot in. And Kotze drops it down. Now turned over as Brink took the puck away from Mudrak. Farinacci loose behind the Slovak goal. Wraparound try. Champlay scores! John Farinacci jams it in. And the United States has restored its 2-goal lead.
Well, this one is a little more conventional. Farinacci had a goal in the second period, we think, that bounced off his shin pad. This all starts when Lakotze makes one of his rare mistakes. The long dump in by Farinacci, he can't control it, and he burps it out into the slot. Unbelievable work by Bobby Brink and by Farinacci. And when Brink takes the defenseman goalie on to the front, that leaves Farinacci with enough room to swing to his backhand, beat Lakotze, and the U.S. has a 4-2 lead. Outstanding work by Brink and Farinacci to keep that puck alive, and the U.S. has some breathing room.
His uncle is Ted Donato, American assistant coach, also was head coach at Harvard, but this year Farinacci's playing back in the USHL because Harvard's not playing. Slavkovsky sends it back, and there's 4 to go here in the third period. Colangelo. For Turcotte. Rink wide for Zegras. Slavkovsky chips that ahead. Lost the puck there to Turcotte. And to Colangelo. Colangelo walks in and shoots. And Lecconte makes the save on that.
We'll get another look at this. And Brink will slide into your picture here. And as he goes to the net, Golion turns his back and just is focused on Brink. When he turns his back, that opens room for Farinacci to come around the other side of the net, using the net as a shield. The second Slovak defenseman's on the other side of the net. He can't get there quick enough, and he zips it by Lecconte, and the U.S. has a 2-goal lead.
Now Boldy moves in. Bouncing puck knocked wide. Beniers throws it back in deep. Turan, but bumps in the corner there by Boldy. Well, there will be a whistle after all.
There will be no whistle until there has to be one. The ref makes a decision that play's going nowhere.
I think the puck begged for mercy.
Well, this has not been easy for the U.S., even though they've controlled much of the play here.
Really interesting tournament for them. You know, they lost that first game 5-3 to Russia. Then they blow out Austria, blow out the Czechs, win a hard-fought 4-0 game against the Swedes. They get a good test here in the quarterfinals.
Now they'll get a day off before they'll face the Finns, assuming this result stays as it is.
Horansky shovels that towards the goal. It bounces away. Helleson puts it high off the glass. And Soika, who gave the Slovaks new life with their second goal, chips that in. Rink line pass goes to Berard. Brett Berard walks in and shoots. And Lecconte makes the stop. There's a late bump there as Brett Berard came sliding in.
Berard is just a buzzsaw on the ice. Not a very big guy at all. 5'9". He's listed at about 155 pounds. A 5th-round pick of the Rangers. I just love the energy that he plays with. It's like relentless. It's everywhere. In a sense, he's not different than Peyton Krebs. Doesn't have the skill like the hands of Krebs. But the two of them, they just like the energy that they bring to the shift, to their line, just is, it's shift after shift, consistency almost every time out.
Knocked down by Johnson at the line. Mrazek tried to poke it away, and racing back now is Mudrak for it. Long lead pass. Mrazek chips that in. Yelich knocks it free. Johnson taps that back. And Thrun lifts it high in the air and back to center right. Took a funny bounce in front of Golion. Slaggert collided there with Turcotte. And that staggered Turcotte.
Well, you're not expecting that hit.
2 minutes left in the third period. As Denis Deschamps wasn't the
Romiak knocks that down, but it's chipped back in. Vinyasco drops it off to Nick Luka. Lead pass to Romiak. And here comes Lecconte to the Slovak bench. The extra skater comes on. It's Soika. It bounces back by him. Beniers busts in, and this is going to do it. Beniers goes in, and it's 5-2 USA with 1:24 to go. Matt Beniers gets his first of this World Junior Championship.
Lecconte had just barely gotten to the bench when the puck went towards the defense. It bounces off of Soika's foot, and Beniers is out into the empty net, and the U.S. will play the Finns in one semifinal, and Canada will play Russia in the other.
Both are rematches from medal round games a year ago, and both were terrific games. And lots of returnees for all 4 teams that are left standing. Angelo shovels that towards the goal. So the 4 winners today know they'll play on Tuesday. Is the goal to the bronze medal game. Colangelo up ahead for Schlanger. And a minute to go in the 3rd period. This is going to be a rare time since the 4 quarterfinal format was adopted that all 4 higher seeds win their quarterfinal games. But the 4 lower seeds all gave them a good test. Slager up for Colangelo. Drops that back, and that shot by Hunter Skinner goes high and wide. This might be his first shift of the game.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Slavkovsky with a shot that's handled easily by Knight.
Well, the same goal-scoring woes plagued Slovakia last year. They'll plague them again this year. You're going to see that young player, Juraj Slavkovsky, for the next couple of World Juniors. Eligible for the draft in 2022. The 16-year-old didn't have a point in the tournament, but he really impressed.
Remember, Chernak for the Slovaks played in 4. You saw him as a 16-year-old and said right away he'd be a National Hockey League defenseman.
Yep.
Chernak was a terrific player for them and a Stanley Cup champion now with the Lightning. The time winds down here in the 3rd period. And the United States caps off a quadruple header with a 5-2 win over Slovakia. Next up, the semifinals on Monday against the Finns. Canada will play Russia, and the 2 winners will play for gold on Tuesday night. And the Slovaks once again qualifying for the medal round will depart after a quarterfinal loss. So we will get the player of the game presentations and then the top 3 players for the Slovaks, followed by the national anthem of the United States. There are some reasons, though, for Robert Petrovitsky to be encouraged. The Slovaks can bring 14 players back from this year's team. Lekotsi, the goaltender, is 18. He can play. Romiak, some of their best players in this tournament, aren't yet 19. Here's the post-game presentation.
The best players of each team is presented by Explore Edmonton, the visitor economy and venue management organization for Edmonton. Each winner will be awarded with a custom wallet from local maker Close General Leather Company. Recipients will receive their award after they exit the ice. The best player of Team Slovakia est le numéro 7, number 7, Dominique Soika. The best player of Team USA est le numéro 25, number 25, John Farinacci. And now for the 3 best players of the 2021 IIHF World Junior Championship for Team Slovakia. The 3 best players are selected by their team and will each receive a Tissot watch. The 3 best players of Team Slovakia are goaltender, gardien de but, numéro 30, number 30, Szymon Lekotsi. Defenseman, défenseur, le numéro 4, number 4, David Mudrak. And defenseman, défenseur, le numéro 5, number 5, Szymon Niemiec. Et maintenant, pour l'hymne national, for the national anthem of Team USA.
The 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship from Edmonton, Alberta is brought to you in part by Esso. The Esso brand has fueled Canada's love of hockey for over 80 years. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey teams. By TELUS, helping build stronger communities on and off the ice. When we give back together, we're all connected for good. And by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of Team Canada.
Proud premier partner of Hockey Canada, Tim Hortons has supported minor hockey for over 35 years through the Timbits Hockey program and its commitment to developing teamwork, confidence, and social skills in an inclusive environment. Timbits Hockey, where the first goal is having fun.
The 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship from Edmonton, Alberta is brought to you in part by Chevrolet. Find new reasons to cheer. Find new roads.
And so here we go, Monday night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 local, and for the folks in Moscow, 2 a.m. in Moscow for Canada versus Russia, hockey's greatest historical rivalry in semifinal number 1. 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 here in Edmonton, and 4:30 a.m. in Helsinki, Finland. Finland versus the U.S. in semifinal number 2. 13 hours of hockey today, and full credit to the 3 big underdogs who all gave the favorites quality hockey games, but the favorites all win, and so we have 2 terrific semis for you on Monday night from the Bubble in Edmonton at the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship.